Hello, welcome back to the Dwarf Podcast. What I mean by that is the master and the noob.
Is that enough time?
Yeah, sweet. Hello, we've got a mediocre episode for you today.
Yeah, possibly shit.
Possibly shit episode. How's your life, Sophie?
Good.
Haven't seen you since we were setting this up.
30 seconds ago.
Yeah. I've got some interesting things to talk about today.
Oh, have you actually?
I have, yeah.
How's your coffee?
I'm into coffee again.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's all right. So we went Asda and bought all the different pods that they've got for me in an espresso machine, because I sold me $3,000 stupid coffee machine that I had before, and I don't regret it. I do, because I sold it for £600.
Oh God!
How brutal is that? I'm good at losing money on stuff, mate, for sure.
It's a good thing you don't care.
It is a good thing I don't care. I kind of sometimes care. I'm going to just edit them a little bit, even though they were picking up each other's noise.
Are they still doing it?
Kind of. Don't worry about that. What's this? Right. So we've got some. Oh, I forgot to look at comments.
Ooh.
So we've had well, I don't know how this works, right? We were doing solicited critiques. I asked for some solicited critiques. Because, we've done unsolicited critiques where we just critique someone's work without asking them.
Yeah.
So I've thought, let's do some solicited critiques. Send in your critiques that you want, things that you want critiquing. Someone sent someone else's work in. And I'm like, I don't know how that works. But
A solicited, unsolicited critique.
yeah, I don't think that's how it works, honestly. But, we've got them anyway, so we can look through them at some point. What else have we got here? We've already answered that. Don't you look at this. Stop copying off me. Oh my God, the door, really, honestly, bro. It's just Dan's delivery, don't worry about that. Thanks, Dan, by the way. I'm trying to do a podcast here, bro. Dan's actually next door to Owen right now. Right, so
what's this?
did you just read it there?
No.
Right, so I saw this on... Oh, okay, so I've joined a group on Facebook called Tattoo Shop Talk.
Oh, you mentioned that, yeah.
And I think it's going to be a very good source of things to bitch about on this podcast, probably. And this one, Eternal, has now brought out... Someone said, "Damn, son!" They didn't say son, they said just damn. But I'm going to read it like how I read it, right? "Damn, son, motherfuckers! These motherfuckers are calling them all out!" Lol. So, this is an advertisement by Eternal for their new Pitch Black ink. And it says... So, do you know much about the different manufacturers of ink, right?
It's like they can't go over a limit, so it's all the same, basically.
Well, basically, yeah, but...
Yeah.
There's different brands, right? You know about some of the brands, I think. See what you know, right? So, should I put a counter on? I'll just do it on the screen afterwards. No, you want to know, don't you? Okay, right. Just say it, bro, innit?
Please just continue.
Right, I'll just read it, right? Because I'm sick of myself already. Okay. This is an advertisement for Eternal's new Pitch Black ink. And it says, "Eternal's new Pitch Black ink is the most intense, dynamic black ink on the market. Pitch Black not only goes in solid, but might be the key to unlocking an electrifying, world-famous tattoo career. It is the perfect fusion of art and science. Pitch Black is so deeply radiant with raw power," that might be a different one, I don't know, "raw powder, we have certified a new industry standard. There is no hidden message implied in this little allegory." Don't say allegory. Alright, the Matrix, people. "The ink empire is yours with Pitch Black. Eternal Pitch Black.
So did it...
Are you one of those tattoo artists who doesn't have ink? Then why not buy our ink? Our ink is the most blackest black ink in the whole market."
So they've put all of the other brands on in their
yeah,
little...
basically, as a little look how clever we are. Buy our ink, because our ink is also
I didn't realise until the
limited
very
by
end.
the same... You what?
I didn't realise until the very end, because it was like, you might even unlock a world-famous tattoo career with this ink. I was like, that's a bit of a stretch.
So the ones that I know are Intense. They say intense, but that might be one of them little, they're not allowed to say intense TM.
Right, yeah.
TM. Dynamic Black is a one. Pitch Black, yes. Don't know. Solid is an ink. Electrifying, I think it's like electric ink. World Famous is an ink. Fusion is an ink. Radiant is an ink. I don't know if it's industry standard or whatever it might be. Who knows? Don't say allegory though. It's like no one knew what the word allegory meant until like this year. So yeah, that was that. I thought that was like, mildly amusing, but not that amusing. Like
It's a good cheeky little thing.
It's a good little cheeky little dig, in it?
Yeah.
So yeah, there was probably comments on that, but like I didn't really read them because I didn't really care. But I thought I'll screenshot that, use that on the podcast. There's a lot of that going on now.
I liked it. Overall, I liked it.
Overall, yeah, I like it. It's
I liked
alright.
it. I'd consider buying that because of that.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it works on morons. That's good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, I'm joking.
You know,
It'll be good because Eternal
gimmick
Ink is good though. I think now probably though they're all good, aren't they? That's what I came to. It's like it seems to me that like not all obviously, but most of the inks that's out, like the proper brands that are out, are good, except for like maybe one company has a better yellow than the other one or something, or one maybe has a better white maybe, or you know what I mean? Because like some of the greens I found, like some of the greens from Fusion. Like there's a certain kind of colour, I think it's artichoke it's called, and there's another one, artichoke's light, and then there's another one that's kind of similar. I'm only on my third coffee right now, and I had 4 yesterday or something, or 5. Was it 5 or 6? Algae, maybe? Might be algae green from Fusion, I can't remember the name now, but they're really like, they look mint colours, but they're just like weak.
Right.
They don't go in properly. It seems that like there's like this yellowish stuff goes in and the ink stays on the tube or something. Like maybe the particles are too thick to go in.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, why? But then World Famous had the same kind of colour green and theirs goes in nice. So it's like, why don't you just all join?
Would you say like you get what you pay for with ink? Like the more expensive the ink, you know you're going to get something good.
You used to, but since everyone's put the prices on everything, now I don't think so.
Right.
I think I've used noticed, right? Let us know down in the comments below if you've noticed that since the price went up on stuff, everything's went worse. Like the gloves now rip, like 1 out of like 20 gloves in a packet of 100 rips. I'm literally getting at least 4 or 5 rip per packet. No, well, I never used to.
Is that an issue with the nitrile ones alone though?
I don't
or do you
know.
think the latex
well,
ones?
maybe,
Because I don't have
maybe.
that issue.
Okay, I'm allergic to latex ones, so.
I'm becoming allergic to latex for sure.
So if you don't know about the latex thing, right? I learned that you can develop latex allergy, and what I read, this is years ago I read this, but like what I read was that it's like if you're using low quality latex.
Okay.
So low quality latex breaks down more than high quality stuff, and it starts to go in your skin weird and make you allergic. So I started getting like itchy around my wrist there, like just where like the rims were, not really on the fingers or anything, but around there. But you were getting like a weird thing on your finger, weren't
It's
you?
this knuckle goes really red when I take my gloves off.
Strange.
And
I know
itchy.
Bez started getting like an allergy to it as well,
Right.
from using them. And it's like you would assume that they were high quality with them being in the tattoo industry, but it's like, honestly, I think with them being black, because they want to make them fancy different colours, it's like they make the brand years ago. There used to be one called Panthera, I think they were. They were like the first black gloves. And then it's like people copy them, and then it's like they put the price down without telling anyone. Well, they put the price up to us, and they buy them for cheaper.
Yeah.
So they can be just like... Yeah, and then you start getting like allergies to it. So I had to switch to the nitrile ones, and it's obviously you get some customers who have that as well. Do you ask your customers about that, by the way? Well, let's just start doing that.
Because like, I mean,
we could put that on the disclaimer though.
the thing is though, it's just like, oh, do you know if you have a latex allergy? They're going to be like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Unless like,
They're gonna be like, I'm not
I
allergic to
tried to be a
condoms.
gimp. Like,
Try to be
year.
a gimp with me like Chinese gimp suit, and it was really low quality, and I got rash on my whole body.
Maybe we just need to buy like elbow length gimp gloves and just autoclave them every time.
Could work. You can definitely get like big. I remember. Have I told you this before? I might have. When I was in the army back in the days, we had there was different like latex gloves that we found for like messing with petrol and shit. Right. There was some that were like full length ones like this.
Right, like fisting.
Yeah, for fisting. Yeah, for fisting trucks. And it's like it was proper thick. It must have been like 3 mil thick rubber. But first of all, we had like a normal glove, like just a normal what we would use kind of thing, and filled it with the airline, and it went about this big before it popped. So then we were like, oh, look, there's another glove over there. And this was like a similar kind of length, but it was like thicker rubber, but maybe 1 mil thick or something. And that was surprising how big that one went. It went about this big, with like, it was like a finger, then a gap, then a finger, then a gap. And before it popped, and it was loud, that one, like. And then it's like, we found this like full arm one. I tied like the end up with cable ties, taped like the pipe into it, and then we taped the airline onto it, so it was just squirting. And it was on the back of one of the flatbed trucks, and it's like, I'm not even exaggerating this, it wouldn't have fit in this room.
Really?
It got so big, yeah. It was like as high as a man, and it's like twice as long as someone, like as big as a Land Rover easily. And we're just going like, oh shit, like what if a boss walks through now? And it's like, ah. And it's like, oh my God. When that exploded, honestly, it sounded like a bomb went off. We were just
I feel like
quick.
you could kill someone.
I think so. You could do some damage with that, like
Yeah.
for sure. That was loud, that door. Funny, but they would be good for tattooing them, getting all the way up to here and that. They probably can't. Don't say that to the council lock, they'll want us to do it, won't they?
Yeah.
Funny that door. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, I'm doing that thing where we just hammer through this, aren't I? I've got like this is what happens, right? I've got a couple of subjects that I want to talk about, and I'm like, let's just ease into it. We'll not use them all up straight away, and I'm like, right, I'll finish talking about that next.
Just talk about this one.
Another tattoo shop talk thing. Hey y'all. What's the best way to get... This is someone called Lauren Ducharme. Ducharme. Don't harm ducks, bro. I like ducks. Oh, I had a goose egg yesterday, by the way, off Sophie's dad, and it was delicious. Why wouldn't you eat that, by the way?
It's too big for an omelette.
It's not.
It's not.
How many eggs do you have in your omelette?
One.
That's not an omelette.
It's more of a breakfast wrap. It's like a large chicken egg.
So what difference does it make if it's one goose egg? That's still a one egg omelette.
It'll be 2 eggy.
How will it be?
Because like, if it's a big egg, or if I put 2 eggs in, I have to put more bacon and more cheese in, because the ratio of bacon egg.
What's wrong with that? Like, that sounds like a good thing.
I'll not finish it.
Why don't you just? You should fry goose eggs.
I do want to try one.
Like
duck eggs are a bit strange. I don't mind them.
They're
I like
a
chicken
lot
eggs
richer.
better though.
I think. I don't know about that. Like goose eggs are the best.
What's your favourite egg?
What's your favourite egg? And you can't say cream eggs because they're not real eggs. I guess they are. Eggs more of a shape than a like thing, innit?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anyway, tattoo shop. Back to tattoo shop talk again. Hey y'all, what's the best way to get the blue carbon dye out of laminate flooring? I've used Cavicide, Dettol, Dr. Bronner's, whatever that is, dish soap, floor cleaner. I scrubbed that shit with a scouring pad. Any tips to get it out would be appreciated. So I've found that this is why I screenshot this, because I just wanted to say this. I've found that the best thing to get carbon off with, right, is ink, blood. Like, it's like, you know, the stencil, basically. The best thing to take it off seems to be the stuff that you have to use to do the tattoo with. It's like baby wipes, ink, and blood. Just mix that together, put it on the floor, boom, it'll be gone. Oh, hope it doesn't go. Also, that would that would go quite far, I think, with that. But actually, though, I have no idea. If it's in laminate flooring, I don't know if it would soak into that.
Is that laminate? What we've got?
No, we've got... Oh, that is laminate flooring. What did they say?
Laminate.
Oh, I was thinking, what's that like? Vinyl stuff?
Lino.
I thought they were saying lino. Oh, well, laminate flooring? Like what, the gaps or something?
I don't know. Just don't use laminate flooring because it's shit.
I can't see that soaking in the laminate flooring. Like, I don't believe it.
It's soaking in like the crevices. Well, you like wipe it up so it goes in all the crevices when you clean it. Because if you do it side to side, it's obvious.
Pour like wood coloured ink on there, innit?
Yeah, just pour brown on.
Oh, right, okay. So another thing that I saw was this woman. This was on Rap Posting TM group, and I think it was shared into that group, or some tattooist has shared it.
The caption.
Yeah, the caption is, nah, because, like, why would you do this to yourself? So she's got, you might have noticed, she's got flowers there, but she's also got Eminem and some, I don't know who that is, probably another one of his mates. Then she's got Eminem there. Then she's also got Eminem there and there and there and on her arm. and that's the other one that we already saw, and on that arm as well.
She's actually Stan.
She's actually a Stan. Then there's Eminem on the stage. There's all of Eminem's album covers. And there's some different Eminem tattoos
well
that she's
done.
got. I know, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, at least they've done, like, decent.
Yeah.
That one looked mint on that other photo. That one, like, on that photo where, like, it looks like his t-shirt and all that. I don't know how fresh it was on that, though.
It looks like a sleeve on her. Like, his t-shirt looks like a shirt sleeve on her actual arm.
But on that one, it looks a bit washed out, though.
Yeah.
But that might be it fresh, or might be it healed, I don't know. This looked cool fresh, but as you say, the one where Eminem and his mates there, it's not like the black guy hasn't, like, healed the best, has he? It's not bad, but it's like, it's not stayed in Hollywood Hope. What one?
Is that like is that Eminem? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the flag?
The flag, I think it might be like just off
Is it
one
a
of his albums or
state?
something. So, yeah, it's an American flag with Eminem sat in front of it.
It's only got one star.
I've recognised this one, though. I feel like I've seen that one be done before, that black and grey one with the devil horns on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this one, maybe David Corden's done it as well.
Okay.
Maybe, I'm not sure. That kind of looks like David's work also, though. But it's like she's got it done well, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
It's very stanny, though. That one's not great, though, is it?
And it's a bit boring. Yeah, like... I wonder if our favourite song is Stan.
I wonder if her favourite artist is Eminem. Do you think?
So he's alright.
He's alright. I tattooed that guy, didn't I? I tattooed a guy ages ago, right? And he was like, what was it? He's getting like a Joker tattoo. He's like, oh, I'm thinking about, like, I want a Joker, but like Heath Ledger Joker, and then like, I don't know, another one of the Jokers split down the middle with Has. So it's like, ha 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 ha, or whatever, up there. And halfway through the tattoo, I'm like, oh, so take it into Batman then? He's like, no, not really. I'm like, what? Have you seen? He's like, I don't know if he'd seen many of the films. He'd seen one or something. I'm like, that's weird. Like, I was like, did he get? I didn't ask him, but I'm like thinking, did he get the tattoo because he thought I'd like it? Because there's more things I'd like than the Joker.
There's a whole culture with like Joker though and Harley Quinn and like being a couple who's into Joker and Harley Quinn and like pretending to be them. It's like, what is it? She was his queen and crazier than him, and God help anyone who disrespects his queen. Just like some really cringy, like, stop romanticizing psychopaths.
That's what most films do that anyway, though, don't they? I can't help but try and burn through these, Sophie. Even though I told you at the beginning as if I was telling you not to do it, and it's like, I'm like, now, right, that's enough of that.
It's because you've had a coffee.
I've had like a few today. We've got a new like thing as well. Sophie's dad give us a steamy thing, so I've been trying that today. So I've had extras. Oh, okay. So what else is there to talk about? What I wanted to show you this thing. I think you might hate this, by the way, because I think I hate this.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if we have to do a warning for this one. This is like potentially pretty graphic right now, so if you don't want to see something like that, it's about tattoo removal in what I thought is one of the most brutal ways ever. Ready?
Oh God, right, yeah.
So he slices round with a scalpel first.
Oh, is this from ages ago?
And then it's like he just takes like a layer off. Like he saws it off like that. Excuse me, but what the bro?
Oh, I thought there'd be fat and stuff, though. That's worked pretty well.
I don't know why it's not bleeding. Unless they've put some... Like, you could put that Vaseline stuff. I know that one have had that then on the skin, and that would, like, move the blood away from the surface, but, like...
That's going pretty deep.
It's going pretty deep.
Well, hold on.
It
Does the tattoo go deeper than that?
The tattoo... I hate it.
Is it real?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's like on a dead person or something, or like. But then why would you be removing the tattoo unless you wanted to like frame it or something? I guess he wasn't into Liz anymore, though.
Oh yeah, I thought it was said 118.
Shut up, bird, for that. Phone number 3.
That was kind of horrible. I've seen some horrible stuff on the internet, but that was actually quite bad.
It was pretty bad, that. Like, I don't know, can we even put that on YouTube?
There's no blood. I think you'd be able to.
Putting it on and just blurring it out. It's like, oh, well, what was it? Should we do them, the critique of them or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's do a critique of these then, right? Should I, I'm going to screen record this bit though. So then I don't have to, try and find out what I was doing. Okay. So it was on a group called, well, someone's just shared it to me, but it looks like it's shared by someone called Crazy Tattoos. Napple. So I think their question was something, it might have been Disroulette that sent this, I can't remember now. It was a while ago. This was before the last podcast, I think. Looks a bit suspicious, doesn't it, that?
The armpit minge.
The pit minge. Right, so it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it
looks photoshopped.
It does. It may be.
It's not even red.
When you go close to it, yeah, I feel like, I don't know if you can see, around the edge there, it looks like that may be they might have edited just around the edge of the tattoo.
Photoshopped it less red, or?
Potentially, yeah, maybe, because it's it looks almost whiter just around that, doesn't it? A little bit. I don't know, it might not, but it kind of feels like it might. But it's not like it's tattooed bad, is it?
It's so good it looks like it's just a picture over the top of it. It looks photoshopped. But
yeah.
It doesn't look real at all.
It's cool. But it's how's it going to heal? And I honestly think that'll probably heal pretty good. Although yellows and oranges aren't great for holding up over time. And I guess there's a little bit in that brown. I should have the pen thing on, shouldn't I? But I don't know how to do that. And skip photos. That little bit of brown there might heal a bit light. But I don't think with that the reflection's going to affect it really bad. But pretty good. So they've got a few. Then this now... It does look like it's definitely a good tattoo. It's definitely in solid, I would say, but I don't think that black's
that black.
Yeah, I think that definitely would. This suggests that we can assume all of them have been photoshopped. The contrast's been bumped up, and the redness has been taken off.
Yeah, you can see a bit of redness right next to the surface.
Right next to it, yeah, but it would be redder than that in real life.
Yeah. So
I think they've lightened that and darkened this to give it more contrast, but again, pretty cool. But is that then false advertising? Because you're making your black look like it's blacker than it is possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's reflections are missing and stuff like that from it. There's things you can do with the way you take the photo, obviously, but it's not that dark.
It literally looks like the F or whatever. No, that's white. If you go on just darkest dark on Photoshop and just put that on.
So you can do a curves layer over the top. Have you done curves? You know how to use curves. You can literally... This is a good thing for if you're doing stencils through a printer machine. You can just open up a curves layer over the top of your actual line work or whatever. Say you've scanned it in and it's a bit grey. And then there's a white dropper, a medium dropper and a black dropper. You can drop the white dropper onto whatever colour you click on the image, because it'll come above your regular layer in Photoshop. Whatever you click on, anything that's lighter than that is just pure white. Then you click the black onto whatever, and everything that's darker than that is pure black. So you can click around until you find the perfect thing, and it works quite well. It works quite well with say a black and white reference as well. You can use it to say if you've got a rose, you get the rose black and white, and then click white on the edges of the rose's petals, and then black on the... I start on the inside of the darkest part and maybe click around to maybe make it lighter or darker because it changes with when you click. I know that may be hard to follow just by me saying it, but play with your Photoshop if you've got it. You're going to have to do
a tutorial on your own.
Maybe. Oh, okay, yeah, I could put a video of that while I'm talking about it.
Just messing about with it.
Yeah. Okay. So on this one, it's one of the arguments here is look, it's not Photoshop because look at all the stuff around it. And it's that's a significant misunderstanding of how Photoshop works and how effective it is. You can definitely... It
looks more Photoshopped.
You could mask this and only edit the bit that's in amongst it. And again, if I'm saying it may be Photoshopped, I'm not saying that they've painted stuff over the top. I don't think they've done anything like that. I think they will have bumped the contrast up, though. The whites are whiter and the blacks are maybe blacker than they would be. But it's definitely a good tattoo though still, and it's solid. But that little
I was just
minion
about to
looks
say,
it's mint.
It's mint.
No, I bet that looked class when it was fresh.
Right.
That would look as good or probably as good as this when it was fresh. What were you going to say? You didn't like
Why
it?
the would you get a Captain America Minions tattoo?
Yeah. Next to your old school snake and flowers.
Yeah. That skull looks pretty cool as well.
Yeah, skull looks alright. But that would have been cool when that was fresh because, like, you know, you can see the shadows. It's hard to get them solid like that, though. And, you know, there's bits like that's dropping out of the red.
Yeah.
I find red hard to get to put in, though. Did I tell you that before? Have we talked about that in the pod before?
I think we have briefly touched on, like, how
some
hard colours are.
Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, some guy said, I asked him, do you find it hard to put red in? He's like, no. And it's like, well, he was wrong. Well, he might not, you know. His was crap, though. Okay, another one there. Effalump.
It's very dark black, that, like.
Very dark black, that, like. What
and
black
it's, like, solid as
yeah,
well.
mate,
it's
what
like...
black have you used for that, like? He's like, Photoshop black, mate. Oh, okay. Maybe it wasn't Photoshop. Maybe you used...
pitch black.
What's it called?
Pitch black, was
Is
it?
that, no, I'm
pitch
saying...
dark? Oh, no.
I didn't use Photoshop, mate. And he's like, that's the truth because he used Procreate.
Oh.
It's like, I mean photo editing. It's like, oh, yeah, I did that, yeah.
It'd be interesting if you could, like, get it and bump the contrast up or something high enough to see if it is... Like, because I think there is ways to tell if stuff's photoshopped if you bring it into Photoshop yourself and mess on with it.
There's an app that will tell you what's been touched in Photoshop as well. I saw it, like, with some celebrity photos. It'll, like, make it green or whatever, highlighted in green.
I think there's, like metadata on the phone as well.
Okay.
Like, because all pictures have, like, too much metadata attached to them
If
now.
you screenshot it, though, does that wipe all that metadata off and you get, like...
Oh, yeah, it will.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, if you saved it, like, it's like might went through Facetune or something to bump the contrast up or down.
Yeah. Still pretty good, though. This one, hate it, but, you know... Come on.
It's a cool style to have, though, just doing everything like gold. It looks really good.
Let's go through them a bit faster than that. Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah, nice.
Like, I think the guy was asking us, though, is it going to heal? And I think it will, honestly. I think, like, a lot of these are going to heal in pretty well. Although, you can see on this, there's maybe some blowout-y things going to happen on them. So it's like this person's really good with a Magnum, probably, and not deal with a liner kind of thing.
That, like, is that N in probably in Tuscan?
No, they like might be dropping out a little bit. They're going to be darker than they want to be.
That's
I'd
cool.
hate to do that, though.
Oh, God,
it's pretty cool, I guess, but I'd hate to do it.
All the little things in between.
Gaps in there, though, isn't there? Gaps next to the white there, like. Yeah, I'd hate to do that so much. I bet they hate that. That's pretty impressive looking. Although it's very hard to keep your attention on them bits, like. And no one's looking at it this big. Well, they are, because I'm showing them it this big. But it's like, you don't see it that big in real life.
It's weird, because it's like, I think to do proper gold on all of his little nodules on his head would...
It would be like days.
Like, 'cause that doesn't look as the same material as his face.
Yeah. This one's definitely like... I don't know if this one would be earlier or later than them other ones, but it's like not as solid. You know, you can see there's like patches in the bottom there. So that one, I think you're going to notice that when it's healed. But like, say that plane and a few of them other ones, like, they're going to heal good. But I think that's that.
He does it...
Oh, artist, Jua Tattoo.
Jua Tattoo.
There you go.
It's the profile picture from Crazy Tattoos, man.
Oh, God.
Trash.
Sleuths.
I was going to say, like, he does a lot... Oh, it does a lot of them...
They? Did you just assume... Someone assumed my dog's gender yesterday.
Zim. They do a lot of them on, like, just... I think it's because they don't look curved. They look fake. They don't look like they curve with the body.
Oh, okay.
They look like they're just being on, but because he does them so small and so, like, on a big area, I guess, like a... Here. Like, he never does anything wrapping around. I think that's why it looks fake to us.
And it looks like it's all on, like, really milky white people as well.
Oh, it'd be interesting to see how that would go on a black person.
I don't know if it would. I know you're not allowed to say that, but I don't know if it would.
Yeah, like, how does yellow tattoo into a black person?
This is a subject, isn't it? Like, there was some guy talked about this on YouTube and almost got cancelled for saying that you can't... He's saying that you can't do the same things as you can on, like, white people.
Well, it's obvious.
Of course, but you're not allowed to say that. Yeah. We're not allowed to point out the truth, are we?
It's like if you can't draw some things on white paper, like things on brown paper look better on white paper, and vice versa.
I think he had a lot more like followers than we did, so you know there's a lot more morons commenting on it. But like, of course, like there is like you can do decent tattoos on black people. It depends on how dark their skin is, though. But like, it's like there's always that layer of skin over the top. So that colour is always going to like change the colour. Like if you get tanned, your white doesn't look as white as it is on someone who's not tanned, kind of thing. So of course it keeps going. But it's like, I'm like trying to think how I can say this without like saying the wrong words. Because I'm just going to say, I think it would be a waste of time, for instance, to do a full colour realistic portrait the same way. Like, it's not a waste of time to do the tattoo on the person, of course. Like, everyone can get tattooed if they want, but you kind of have to change the tones a little bit. Like, say, if you use, say, a black and grey portrait, like the lighter tones that are lighter than the skin aren't going to show up, obviously, because they're lighter than the skin.
Yeah.
It's like trying to cover a black tattoo with some black and grey stuff. It doesn't work. It's like, yeah, but if you go darker, if you use, like, say, you say you've got the full range of tones, saying you've got black is like value of 10 and white is a value of 1, right? With like the lighter the skin, if you've got like a perfect milky white person, for instance, you can do the whole range of tones and it will look good. If you've got someone who's like really heavily tanned, like them lighter tones are kind of pointless. So you're like, what you would have to do is bump the contrast up a little bit and move the tones along a little bit. So you'd go for, say, from 10 to like, let's say 3, for instance. But on like darker skin, you're going to have to like just forget about those lighter tones and put like way more of the black in. So it actually like still shows you the shapes and stuff that you're going to have. And I've tried to do it and they don't look as good because it's like, and there may be some argument for going, like if you were to go over the cover up with like the skin color or with a white to like kind of lighten it, there may be some argument that works, but I haven't seen anyone do that really successfully yet. And it might work. I'm not saying that it definitely doesn't work.
Because when I think of like black people with tattoos, I always think of them as black and grey. Because I don't think
it tends to look better.
Like
if you do yellow on like darker skin, it doesn't go in yellow.
Yeah,
it's like really dark. And it depends on the tone of the skin, honestly. But then I wonder if that white thing would work. Like, say if you had yellow that's got a lot of white in versus, like, say, a watery yellow, like yellow ochre from Fusion is the one that I've got. And by itself, it's kind of like translucent, I guess, if that's the right word. It's not transparent, it's translucent.
Yeah.
But if you mix it with white, it goes more opaque. And it also, like, it looks a lot stronger in the skin. So I always like to mix a bit of white with it. But it's kind of one of those colours where it's a bit thin. So it's like, it's unfortunate that you can't put it in its colour. Like, to put it in the colour that it is, you've got to mix another colour with it to bring it. You've got to mix white in to make it opaque, and then mix another kind of brownish colour to bring it back down to yellow ochre colour.
Yeah.
And it's like, do that at the fucking factory, obviously, but let's just call it a tint then, I guess. You could use it as a tint if you like. But yeah, why were we talking about that now? I forgot. Colours on the milky white people.
Yeah, it's because they were using a lot of yellow.
But it's not saying that this person is not doing that either. It's just like, I kind of agree. Well, I think this is a move anyway. Like, if your portfolio doesn't have to have every tattooing you've done. Like, I don't think you'd have to post every tattoo you've done. I could definitely post more. But I just forget to take photos, honestly, sometimes. But your portfolio is kind of like your look at me bit. So really, it's to advertise. It would be your best work.
Yeah.
I know you could argue that that's maybe false advertising because you're only showing your best days, but it is advertising kind of thing. But I've heard a guy, this is Chris, who used to have the studio that Lee took over, who I was on about from Catrick. He said that you're only as good as your last tattoo.
Right.
So if your last tattoo was shit, you're shit now. And you only can redeem yourself by doing a good one again, kind of thing. So you should always do your best work, obviously.
I think you've got to like understand that with art, it's always hit and miss. Like this kind of thing. I remember some of me internet friends, and they were like, if they wanted a commission of someone for drawing their characters, they'd discuss like the hit and miss of these artists. How sometimes they do something that's really good, and the next one they post would be like, oh, are they crap? Are they good? You can't tell. But you have to. I think So I suppose you have to go to the artist with something that they'll probably want to do to get the best work.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's hard to like. It's kind of like I've thought about this before, and it's what it feels like. If you're doing something that you love and you really want to do, and I would send someone to it. Let's say that guy the other day wanted this like sketchy. So he asked for like a lightning strike or something like this, just down from the armpit or whatever. Like, how much would this be? And I'm like, yeah, like any of us could do that. Like, well, so it's like that's fine. Then he's changed his mind to like a Poseidon or whatever, with like made out of the same kind of like sketchiness, and it's like that changes things a lot.
Right.
And it's kind of like it looks good in the photo that he sent because the person who did it loved it, you can see, where we wouldn't love that. And it's like you could do an okay version of it, but it's like I was like with that one, because it's like it's all day worth of work and really hard on this thing, and it's like you're going to get a better job if you got the person who did it. He then said, who did it? Oh, I don't know, mate. You found it and sent it to me. Like, where did you find it? Ask them. What am I saying? I think you get a better one if you got the person. Because if I'm doing like something I love, it's almost like I've got like 200% energy on that day. It's like I'm adding my energy, then the person's bouncing off because they love it as well, and then the universe fills in this like other percentage of energy. Whereas with something that I hate, I'm like going to the bathroom and standing there like, it's like, oh, just going to go use the toilet, mate. Then I'll go to the bathroom and be like, and then go back in like, all right, mate, yeah, let's keep going. What was that thing you were talking about? Football, sweet. But when it's like someone I'm into, I'm just like, and it's like, wow, I'm starving for some reason at like 10 p.m. I'm like, wow, I haven't even used the toilet all day, and I pissed myself and I didn't even notice. So I'm going to talk about this dog piss thing, right? So my dog got pissed on yesterday by another dog because we went like out, because my mate Carl, hello Carl again, he thought it was funny that we mentioned him on the podcast.
All right.
Said I was going to do a critique of his work, but he thought that would be embarrassing because he thinks it's shit. Like, it is.
Oh,
no,
don't
it's
be nasty.
It's not. He's doing well. He's doing well now. He's a chav, right? And he's my favourite chav.
You have said this to him before.
I have told him, yeah. Like I've told him all this stuff. The thing is with his work, right? It's like he's just learning. He's like brand new, basically. He's been doing it for a little bit now, and they're definitely getting better. And I can see that he's going to get good. But he's also got this chav tenacity about him, where it's like he's not going to stop until it's good, and he loves it. And that's the main thing. The fact that he loves it, and when he loves something, he can do it.
Yeah.
Like trying to tell him to do like I don't know if he liked writing at school, but I imagine he probably didn't. So he probably didn't do well, but he liked science at school, so he did really well at science. Because it's mixing stuff and that, whatever. So I know that he'll get really good at the tattooing. Like his corals, he was selling corals for a while, and they were mint.
Yeah.
He's like taking these like corals that are like dull, and he puts them in his tank because his tank's got perfect parameters. The corals get really bright, and people are like, wow, they're actually rare ones. And he's like, oh, okay. He buys a thing for like, I don't know, he said like 300 quid, splits it up, and he can sell them for 300 quid each to people, and he's shipping them all over the world at one point. But yeah, I know he's going to get really good, but went out with his dogs anyway, and one of them was having a piss on like some grass, and she was like squatting a bit high because of that, and then Leaf's just like, what's this? It's like all going to the wind, also blowing it all in her face. Then I put that on Facebook, and some lasses like, I think it might not be that. I think it might be what they're eating is why she smells the piss. And I'm like, nah, it's definitely that because I saw it happen. And she says, I'm sure you didn't. What? Why would I lie about that?
Who are these people who just comment things on you?
Well, to be honest, I do troll a bit on the internet, don't I? So like, I think I do deserve it back. I don't know why I'd lie about that. Like, I just said, I hope you survive the night.
What
Which I think's a nice thing to say.
Oh, is that thing where you say to me, like, I
hope you don't have a horrific car crash on the way home, because that's like the opposite would be horrible. So that must be nice, right?
I know, but like you put it in my brain, so I'll manifest it.
I hope you don't get mauled by a pit bull on the way home. I hope you don't get mauled by 10 pit bulls on the way to get an ice cream.
Oh God, staffies.
Yeah. What are you going to say though?
I forgot. What was I going to say? What were we talking about?
Getting mauled by pit bulls
before
on the way
that.
home. Carl's tattoos. No, dogs getting pissed on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what could you eat that makes you smell like piss?
Piss.
That's
solid piss, dried piss.
Piss resin.
Yeah, piss resin would work probably. Sugar Puffs, Dan says.
Sugar Puffs make you smell like piss.
No, I think Sugar Puffs make your piss smell like Sugar Puffs, but like...
Is Sugar Puffs that weird, like, monster? He's, like, yellow. And
Yeah.
he's furry.
He's not there now, is he?
Sugar Puffs are shit.
Is he called the Honey Monster?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, Sugar Puffs are kind of
shit
crap,
cereal.
like.
What's your favourite cereal?
I don't really like cereal.
No, like
steak.
back when you ate cereal.
Back when I ate cereal, them little, what's it called? Weetabix ones were alright.
Shreddies.
I didn't mind them kind of crave things. No, Shreddies are
I was
shit.
just about to say Crave's my favourite cereal.
Shreddies are crap. What else was good?
Cookie Crisp.
Them Jordan's like country crisp things. They were like they're like
posh, isn't it?
a bit posh, yeah. But they made me fat, horrible. And I don't know what it is in them, but they were
The stuff
gross.
that's not supposed to be in your body.
Horrible fat juice.
Golden Nuggets as well. They were nice.
They're not. None of them are nice. Really,
It's just sugar.
Just have bacon, eggs, and steak, but not one egg in an omelette because it's like Sophie, man. Off, bro.
I can't eat more than
Dan,
that.
did you know that Sophie only has a 1 egg omelette every morning? Is it an omelette if it's 1 egg?
I don't just have like it's got like bacon and lots of cheese in a wrap and with ketchup.
You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs, like plural.
I think it might be breaking an egg that's saying actually, but like.
I think you.
But I think they mean goose egg though.
I think you'd like my breakfast wrap.
Yeah, make us one tomorrow. Bring us one in tomorrow, and I'll tell you. Right, okay. I want to talk about this other thing, right? Because they said a few things that we don't like, right?
Who?
The internet.
Okay.
This was again. I think it might have been on my new favorite group. And someone wrote, normalise. So I knew you'd hate that. Normalise tattoo machines being called machines and not guns. For the love of God.
Like, who cares?
No one cares, bro. So this is why we did that, what's it called? The midweight graph.
It's the bell curve.
The bell curve of intelligence.
So a bell curve is like... and it's like the highest bit is the most common. So in IQ, it's like this would be 100 in the middle because most people have 100 IQ, and then at the very end you've got the really thick people, and there's not many, and you've got the really intelligent people at this end, but there's also not many. So that's how bell curves work.
So this what's it called? The midweight curve, right? It's like the people in the middle are the midwits. Okay, so you get the dumb people are just like it's a tattoo, go now. And then the mid people, the Reddit people, they're like, excuse me, it's a tattoo machine, actually. Machines create, guns destroy, machines create.
Oh, is that a thing?
That's a saying, yes.
No.
That's a saying.
I've not heard that before.
And then the intelligent people are just like, it doesn't matter, bro. Let's just call them guns to take the piss out of the midwits. Like, one of my favourite stories about this. Well, actually, yeah. On that comment, I commented, normalise tattoo guns being called tatty blasters. Yeah, one of my favourite stories regarding tattoo guns, right, is Andy Walker. I think I've said this before. It was at like, I don't know with the convention now. I can't remember which convention. We were at a convention though. And there's like, this guy, Deluxe Tattoo Supplies, I think they were called. They had like loads of different machines. They had Tim Hendricks machines, were really good machines at the time, and like loads of different like decent makes. And Andy was walking up like, all right, mate, what kind of guns are these? And the guy's like, the machines, actually. It's like, what type of guns are they though? And Andy knows, he's playing the game already, and the guy's like biting at the game. And then I was asking him some questions, and he's like, "Yous aren't tattooists, are you?" It's like, yeah. But it's saying it like that as well. It's like, yeah, bro, I am. He's like, no, you're not. And he's just like, thought we were taking a piss, but he's been a little bit snobby about it as well. And it's like, all right then. And he wouldn't answer the question.
Right.
And then later that day, he had to give Andy one of those guns on the stage because he won like the best of day. And then I won best of day on the next day and best of show. I didn't get a gun, no, unfortunately. But yeah. If you think tattoo guns don't exist, bro, right? What do you call this then? Can you take a video of that so I can show people? We load it up with a different...
different attachment.
Different attachment, yeah. This is the coil attachment. put it that way so it looks cool.
I hate how videos zoom in. Okay.
So, who wants to come and get a tattoo off me gun? Me tattoo gun. This is an official tattoo gun. This is the
I
Thanks
think this is the
Anderson.
first ever tattoo gun.
The first ever tattoo gun. So, we should get like... I was going to put a needle in it. I forgot to put a needle in it, but... You know how it works.
You're not
just,
gonna...
Oh, I've got one there. Right there. Oh, sweet. I've got some of them shit Killer Ink ones. I'll waste them. I like Killer Ink, by the way. Sorry, guys. I'm actually sponsored by Killer Ink. They get it. Hey, guys. Killer guys. Sorry. Lath. Sorry, bro. Say it. Sorry, bro. The other guys. Sorry, bro. But, like, these needles just... They're alright. Right. Can you record that then so we can see it moving? So who's going to get that tattooed on the right? Sophie, you ready?
Would you want to do me
Face
arm?
Arm tattoo.
Hold on.
Oh, should we actually do it?
Not ink.
Oh, okay. I'm out.
I don't want a big stripe up my arm.
Why? It'll be like a cool story. People will be like, oh, sweet stripe. Why did you get that?
Oh, it's from a tattoo gun.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's from the tattoo gun.
The tattoo gun. Look,
The
tattoo
tattoo gun.
guns f***ing exist, bro. I'm looking at the mirror again. Look, tattoo gun. Hey, guy from that group. Look, bro. They're called f***ing tattoo guns, bro. Guns f***ing create, bro. Right? So f***ing who cares, bro? Just f***ing call them guns. Imagine being that f***ing mediocre midwit at tattooing that you just like, it's a machine, actually. Oh, someone on that group, I wish I'd screenshotted this. He says like, I was at a convention once and this guy was calling them guns and I'm just like, you have no friends in the industry. All right.
Why are they so elitist?
Because this is, I think, honestly, this is what happens with all the things. I'm sure even stamp collectors get like this. It's like, he hasn't even got a number 7. It's like, this is what's stopping you from getting better. This attitude is like, they think they've peaked. They think they're the best. And they've just peaked now. And they're just like, yeah, I'm the best. And it's like, then they start judging things. It happens in like, I've noticed it happens with music. People start, right, they like love metal, let's say. They go to the Angel in Durham. This is like actual people, right? So anyone who goes to the Angel in Durham, right, you'll know. There's someone in there who does this. Any of the places, though. Then they'll be like, oh, I'm going to learn guitar. Then they're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This guy's amazing at the guitar. This guy's amazing at the guitar. Then they start practicing, and then they can do a bit. And then they start going like, it's not as good as his last album.
Yeah.
And that's the moment they stop playing the guitar because now they've started judging it. So they're judging themselves, of course, and they stop playing it because, like, they won't let themselves progress because they know they're going to get judged because they judge. So it's like, don't care what other people are doing, and then you'll get better. That's it. You f***ing little bell end.
That's going to be interesting. You're going to censor that one out or not?
Bell end? Nah. What's wrong with that? Like, it's just an end of a bell, isn't it? Like,
true.
You can be like a bell rim, maybe, as well. Oh, well, that might be nice. I might start calling people a bell rim. Shut up, man, you fucking bell rim. Yeah, fucking rim off, will you, bell end. So I think that's all of me things I've burned straight through them.
I mean, burn through them. There's 50 minutes.
Oh, no! There's another thing. The tattoo tier list. Ooh, I forgot about this. Oh, yes, can't wait to talk about this one. So, my friend Sophie Cahill, who used to work at this studio, was talking the other day about what to call yourself when you do tattoos. And her friend decided that tattooer sounds better than tattooist. And it's like, it definitely doesn't, of course. That's, if you're American, yeah, but they spell colour wrong in that, don't they? And they say like aluminum and that. So obviously, like, tattooer is just aluminum for tattooist, isn't it? So anyway,
and tattoo artist is superior to all of them.
tattoo artist is superior. So that made us realise that there obviously is a tier list of names. So we, because no one's done this yet, I thought I'd take it upon myself as the governor of dot work for the entire tattoo industry, because I did that whole dot work thing. Have I talked about that on here? Let's talk about it again.
It's on your knee?
Yeah, on my knee. No, it's on my shin, I think. During one of the lockdowns, I'll just tell this quick. During one of the lockdowns, there was a tattoo dot work group on Facebook, and they were like not letting stuff in because it wasn't dot work, right? And I'm like, well, technically all tattoos are dot work. And then there's that joke of when we were at the convention, Big North, and we got Alan's tattoo, not Gary's tattoo, entered into the wrong category. And I argued that it's actually dot work. What, did I do me dots too small? I'm like, right, who's telling us the rules of how small the dots can be? Because I did me dots too small. So I started trolling the dot work group because they were doing that. And I'm like, well, this has actually got lines on. So it's like, have these lines been made with dots, like official size dots? And it's like, right, there's no governor of this, so I'll take it upon myself. And they were starting to get irritated at me, honestly.
Yeah.
And then what I did was right, this has got to count right. So I did this tattoo. And then they actually took that well.
Oh, did
It's like, it's pretty good committing to the bit, though.
Yeah.
I tattooed work on myself with dots. So I've taken it upon myself once again to become the tattoo tier name list man. Or whatever you want to call
just
it.
the tattoo artist, aren't you? So you get to
I'm
decide
the
all
master.
this.
I'm the master.
You're the
bro.
master?
I'm the fucking tat god. So, right, this is the official tattoo tier list of names for tattoo people, right?
What title is that?
That's the official. Should we put like a proper official title on there? Right. Right, so the shittest is this is from shittest to best, right? So you start off at chicken scratcher. Then we go up to just above chicken scratcher is scratcher. Right? That's, someone who tattoos in the house and that. They don't really often wear gloves. Sometimes they wear gloves, but if they wear gloves, it's the same pair all day. And they definitely smoke while they're tattooing with the gloves. Did I tell you about that guy in Merton? I think he's died now. There was a day I went in there and him and his client are both smoking and he's eating a sandwich off his client's belly with his gloves on. And it's like, wow.
Just take the gloves off.
Just stop for a second, mate. It's like... And there was only them two in, like, until we went in to visit and that, and it's like, okay. Old school. Right, so we've got chicken scratcher, slightly above chicken scratcher is scratcher. Then we've got a little bit of an increase, kitchen wizard. And it's like kitchen wizards...
Do you think he always wears gloves?
They always wear gloves.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might, use it on two clients, but they always wear gloves, and they sometimes use different needles on different people, right? And then max you can get unregistered or without a studio is scab lord. And scab lords can actually be like better than, tattoo apprentices. So there's a little bit of an overlap. And right in the middle of that overlap is tattooer, I've decided. Because it's like, they're all technically tattooers, right? But tattooers in the middle of the overlap, right? So don't be so proud about being a tattooer. Unless you're American, in which case, I'll in a minute, whatever. Right, then slightly above... But maybe it's like... So in the army, right, our goals is... What is it now? Private, then Lance Corporal, then Sergeant, then Staff Sergeant, then Warrant Officer Class 1 or Class 2, then the other one. Then it goes to like Second Lieutenant, and then Lieutenant, then Captain. But normally what happens is when people go from Warrant Officer and then go up from like the non-commissioned ranks, they go straight to Captain and miss out the two shit officers, because them shit officers are the ones who come in from like officers school or whatever.
Right.
So you can join as an officer if you've got like a degree or some shit. So it's kind of a bit like that. Like Scab Lord is, it's kind of like a warrant officer of kitchen wizards. So then you've got Tattoo Apprentice, which is kind of technically a tattooer, right? But maybe above tattooer. Maybe. So sorry, Alice, but
maybe tattooer can be like outside of the tier list and encompasses like...
It encompasses kitchen wizard to junior artist
Right.
are all tattooers, right? Then after you become so it goes tattoo apprentice, that's absolute noob, but works in a studio. Then you've got junior artist who's been an apprentice for a bit. Now, I don't think this exists, but some people call themselves that. Then after that, you're a tattooist. So you're no longer a tattooer, and you're a tattooist now, right? And tattooist is basically just short for tattoo artist. It's just missing the art bit off. Then you've got tattoo artist. Then above tattoo artist is tattoo artisan, because that sounds better and therefore is probably better. And what's the difference between tattooist and tattoo artist? One can paint and that and do art. One just copy stuff off Google.
Tattooist should have an apostrophe in it then, if it's shortened to tattoo artist.
Yeah, so spell it right as well, guys. Junior. Oh, okay. So junior artist is just. I know it's got artist in, and that's getting confusing. But I've just wrote junior on here. Or is it right? So junior artist, right? Is that the same as senior apprentice, or is that another rank?
Senior tattoo apprentice.
So tattooist, yeah, they don't do art. Tattoo artist is do art, and then you've got tattoo artisan, because it sounds better.
Have you seen anyone call themselves that?
No. And then above that is where I'm at, naturally, tat god. And this is back at the other side of the midway curve, where below, if you're below a tattoo artisan, you can't say tat god, because it's just people are gonna be like, this guy calls them guns. But look, when you're a fucking tat god, bro, you can invent guns. So of course, a tat god could manifest a tattoo gun into existence when there wasn't one previously, and making everyone else be wrong about their opinions. So yeah, that's the official. I wish I knew what I'd said before. The official tattoo tier list of people who do tattoos, or whatever it was called.
Nice. Is there only one tat
You're
god?
welcome.
Are you the only tat god, or is there other tat gods? Is there a tat pantheon?
What's a pantheon? Is that
just a group of gods?
I would say there's tat gods. Yeah, I'd say there's multiple tat gods. There's you might have a second Dan tat god or something like that. Third tier tat god, what's it called? Prestiged. Twice prestiged tat god. I don't know what you have to do to unlock that. You've got to at least make a tattoo podcast to become a tat god. But you can't just you could be an apprentice doing a tattoo thing, and it doesn't mean you're doing a podcast. Doesn't mean you're a tat god. You're not immediately a tat god just because you've done this, but you're definitely above a tattooer.
Oh, sweet. I'd never call myself a tattooer.
Yeah, obviously, because you've got the standards. Oh, speaking of standards, no, we're not married, bro.
Oh, God.
It's on the same... Someone asked, are you married? And it's on the same episode as that. Sophie talked about her boyfriend, Jordan, so it's no, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Look, do you think I'm going to let me fucking wife have a boyfriend? I'm not fucking Will Smith, bro.
Maybe you like to watch.
No thanks. I think I'll pass on that, thank you.
The guy as well, I stalked his profile, and it was just all Eastern Orthodox. The guy was all Eastern Orthodox. That's Eastern European serious Christianity. And I don't get why is he on a tattoo
doing something wrong? Well, first of all, we're already being blasphemous by doing tattoos, right? Yeah. So,
but it's also did he just watch it for 3 seconds, comment that, then leave, never to come back?
So this is disgusting. I bet they're not even married. So yeah, there's your question. If you've got any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. Smash that like button and hit the bell icon and look. I don't care. I'm looking at me again. Look, I don't care.
I'm going to have to cover that mirror.
I do a bit. I'm going to, because he's f***ing doing my head in, that cunt. That's it. Yeah, I'm done.
Right, bye.
I'm going to go and have another coffee and stroke my dog. Oh, do you know that in Australia, stroke means wank off, by the way? I'm not going to wank my dog off Australians. In England, that doesn't mean that, mate.
I don't think there's no Australians watching this.
There's definitely Australians watching this.
I like making sweeping statements about the audience of the tattoo podcast.
Cool. My dog's good now, by the way. She's mint. Love her so much. And with that,
goodbye.
I bid you adieu or whatever. No, adieu. I didn't say it.